Hello, dear students. My name is Munebi Lawrence Olugbenga. I'm your English language teacher. Our topic for discussion is Concord. Happy listening. Lesson objectives. At the end of the lesson, students will be able to describe Concord and make corrections of errors of Concord in given sentences. What do you mean by Concord? Concord simply means agreement. Agreement between what and what? Agreement among what and what? Agreement between and among the various elements that make up the sentence structure. Don't forget, there are 4 elements that make up the sentence structure. And these include the subject, the verb, the object, and the adjunct. To have a good and correct sentence, we must ensure that there is concord among these sentence elements or parts. We shall look at these one after the other. Number 1, subject-verb concord. The subject must agree with its verb, both in number and persons. And you know, when we are talking of person here, we are talking of whether it is first person, second person, or third person. So, if the subject is singular, the verb or the auxiliary verb must be singular in form. For instance, the boy is coming. Boy is. 2, John treks to school daily. 3, Ganiat has gone home. 2, if the subject is plural, the verb or the auxiliary must be in plural form. For example, we are coming. We are. The students trek to school every day. Students trek. If you notice, John treks, there is an S to show that it is singular. So a singular verb when it is present tense and the subject is third person takes an S, an inflectional X. They have to go now. My guests have arrived. My guests have arrived. Object-verb concord. The object must agree with its verb both in number and person. If the objects are singular, the verb must be in singular form. For instance, there is a cup on the table. There is a cup on the table. But if these objects are plural, the verb must be plural. There are 10 boys in the class. There are 10 boys in the class. Now let's move further. We have concord and proximity. Especially when it involves either or neither nor. The rule here is this. The grammatical unit or item that comes after or nor determines whether the verb should be in singular or plural forms. For instance, either the teacher or his students are bound to be here. Now, his students comes after all, and that's what informs our choice of are. That's the plural verb in that sentence. But look at this second one. Neither the children nor their father was at home. Their father was singular and it comes after nor. And so that informed our choice of was. So we have neither the children nor their father was at home. On this note, we want to pause here and go for a little break. When we come back, We will continue. Thank you. Welcome back. We continue our lessons on Concord. Now we are on number 4, pronoun and concord. The pronoun must agree with its antecedent both in number and person. The antecedent is a noun earlier on mentioned, which the pronoun replaces. Now, let's look at some of the rules guiding pronoun concord. A. If the antecedent is masculine or feminine, the pronoun must either be masculine or feminine. E.g., Mary hurt her right foot. Feminine. Mary, her. The second example here, John hurt his left foot. Masculine, John and his. It will be wrong for you to say John hurt her left foot. Uche lost his biology textbook. Masculine. Nimota has just finished her homework. Feminine. Mary has rented out her apartment. Mary and her. If the antecedent is plural, that's the second one, the pronoun must be plural. E.g., the people have said their own. Plural. The people. There. That possessive pronoun there is plural. And it has no gender. Mary and John lost their parents when they were young. We have two pronouns there. I'm sure you can identify them. Mary and John lost their parents. That there is possessive pronoun, while they is subjective. So, Mary and John lost their parents when they were young. Concord and indefinite pronouns. Indefinite pronouns do not refer to specific or particular objects. The reference indefinite pronoun makes is not to a particular or a specific object. And that's why they are referred to as indefinite pronouns. Let's list some of these indefinite pronouns. We have any, anybody, anyone, anything, some, someone, somebody, something, none, no one, nobody, nothing, many, few, a few, much, none, each, every, everyone, everybody, everything. Just to mention a few. It is instructive for you to realize that indefinite pronoun, most of them take singular verbs. And let's look at a few examples. No one cares for me. No one cares for me in this class. Somebody loves me. All is well. All is well. However, few of the indefinite pronouns, like many, some, few, a few, take plural verb. For instance, many are called, but few are chosen. Some have left. Many have gone. Some have left. But we have to be careful with some. Sometimes it can go with uncountable noun. We're going to pause here and go for a short break. When we come back, we continue. Thank you. Welcome back. In this final session, we'll be looking at what I tag sundry issues on Concord. Number one, when an abstract noun is used, the verb must be singular. Examples of abstract nouns include love, peace, government, hatred, management, authority, and so on and so forth. Listen to these examples. Love is blind. Democracy is the best form of government. 2. When an is used to join two separate grammatical units, the verb must be plural. For example, Titi and Tosin are friends. A calculator and writing materials are what you need for this paper. 3. When and is used to join two food items that constitute a meal, the verb must be singular. Rice and beans is better for supper. Bread and stew is good for breakfast. 4. When which is used to join two grammatical units, the unit that comes before will determine the status of the verb. If the unit that comes before which is singular, the verb will be in plural in singular form. Beg your pardon. For instance, the teacher with the student is coming. We can reverse it to have the teacher is coming with his students. The man with his children has left for Christmas. 4.2. If the noun that precedes which is plural, then the verb will be in plural form. For instance, the students with their teacher are coming. We can always have the students are coming with their teacher. The guests with their mom have left. Now, 4.3. When one of is used, the noun that follows must be plural but the verb singular. For instance, one of the boys is a thief. One of my children is a medical doctor. When each of or every one of is used, the noun that follows must be plural but the verb singular. For instance, every one of them has got to show some signs of seriousness. Each of you has to submit his or her assignment in triplicates. When some of is used, the noun that follows must be in plural and the verb also. Some of the students are brilliant. Some of them are traitors. Many are. Concord. When many are is used, the noun and the verb that follows must be singular, e.g., many are candidates speaks good English. Nouns like information, equipment, advice, machinery, furniture should always take singular verb except when the phrase pieces of precede them. The equipment is inadequate, but the pieces of equipment are inadequate. Collective noun. This may take singular or plural verb depending on what you are communicating. Examples of collective nouns are class, fleet, audience, congregation, bunch, flock, mob, crowd, just to mention a few. The class is too busy. The congregation is excited. The audience listens with rapt attention. Note that please is a collective noun, but it will always take a plural verb. For instance, the police are diligent, but the military is diligent. Now answer the following question by underlining the correct option. 1. Akeem is one of the accountants who rarely makes or make mistakes. Which one do you think is appropriate there? 2. The teacher with his students have or has arrived. Which one will you pick? 3. Rice and beans is or are good for dinner. 4. Some of the boys are his students. 5. John and Mary have or has agreed to settle their /his and her quarrels. With this, I'm sure you have gained one thing or the other. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.